Yeah, sure.
Yes.
So, okay, we are live now. Um, can the members of the Liège Game Lab tell me if it's okay, if you see us and can listen to us?
Yeah, for me it's perfect. I can see you perfectly well, and I have the screen. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, me
nice.
too.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So, last thing for you are gonna talk with me, speak with me. Everybody can hear us, but with a few seconds between our voice and the listening. So I sometimes see if the chat reacts, and I have to wait a few seconds for them to react. So, to present what we are about to do here, my name is Maxime Godfirnon. I'm a student for the Liège Game Lab, so the laboratory of the University of Liège, which studies video game from a cultural perspective. And today I'm about to explain the basics of Minecraft and the mod BetterGeoEdu, um, which is a project led by a few universities, um, a few European universities, and then we'll discuss about how to implement recycling perspectives in the game. And for this, I'm with some members of the GeMMe laboratory from the University of Liège, Eric Pirard, Maxime Evrard, Alidor, Shikika, and Pierre Barnabé. You can introduce yourself, please.
Okay, I can start. Okay. So my name is Maxime Evrard. I'm a teaching assistant in the University of Liège, a teaching assistant from Professor Pirard, which is here with us. And I'm following some projects with educational projects, so raw materials schools, etc. And so I'm very interested by this BetterGeoEdu project here.
Okay. Hello, everybody. So my name is Eric. I'm the head of the GeMMe Lab. I'm here to discover the principles of Minecraft. Of course, I've heard about BetterGeoEdu, which is this enhanced version, the mod aiming at better education in geology. But the idea here is to see how we could also contribute and put more science into this Minecraft game. Thanks.
So I will continue. I'm Pierre Barnabé. I'm a research engineer from GEM. So I work in the researching area. We are developing a prototype for physical sorting of recycled materials, notably metals. And I'm here to discuss the possibilities to include this in Minecraft as well.
Hello everybody, I'm Alidor Shikika. I'm PhD student at the University of Liège at GeMMe Lab. I'm doing my research on separation of tantalum and niobium from the DRC.
Thank you. So we can talk a few words about the BetterGeoEdu project. Eric, do you want to start to present it?
Yes, so BetterGeoEdu is a mod that has been developed by the Geological Survey of Sweden. So these guys realized that it was possible to introduce a broader diversity of rock types and also to introduce concepts which are closer to what is in reality exploration and how different kind of deposits are being mined. So not everything can be found anywhere. So BetterGeoEdu is a quite successful mod that contributes to better education in geology, and I would like to discover it because I've never played with it until now, and see how we can improve, because that's the aim of our current project is to improve BetterGeoEdu and eventually also to introduce aspects from the broader circular economy.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. So first I'll start by explaining and showing quickly how to install the mod in Minecraft. So just to situate, Minecraft is a video game developed by Mojang, which is like how to explain this? A huge box of Legos, so construction blocks, in which you can make about whatever you want with cubic with blocks of different natures. The game is based on a procedurally generated environment, so every time you play, the game is different and it's quite random. So they always have something to do, something new to learn and things like that. And the mod BetterGeoEdu is something you can add to the game to change its nature and some of its features. And here to implement better knowledge and more realism in the procedural generation of words. So first I exit the game to show you how we'll do it. So first you'll have to go to bettergeoedu.com, the page is in English, and you'll have an installation guide to guide you do what I'm about to show. So first step is downloading Minecraft. So it's really easy to do, and you can see on the page of Minecraft how to do it. So I just show you the link. You first have to create an account and then get the game from here. So this game. It's explained on the website. I'm not gonna do it here because there are already quite an amount of guides to help you do it. I just focus on the BetterGeo perspective. In second, you'll have to download and install something called Forge, which is something that you add to the game to be able to install mods with it. So here you have the steps to do it. So I think you won't need me for this. Once done, you can download BetterGeoEdu here at this address. And once this is done, so I've already done it on my game, so I won't do it again here. But when it's done, you just have to go tap this %appdata%, which leads you here in the Minecraft folder. You should have a mod file, and you'll just put the BetterGeo program in this file. So here you can see the name and the version of the game 1.7.10. So to explain this, it's that when you play the game, you can see here the version on which one you are playing at. So actually we are normally on the 1.30 or 14 iteration of the game. You have to use this mod. You'll have to go back in the versions. So we'll use Minecraft like it was in something like 2015. And in configuration, you have to create a new configuration here, Forge version of the 1.7.10. You should be able to do it quite easily once you have the plugin installed. So you'll see here all the different versions. and the forge one. You select this one, and once it's done, you can here be able to play the game, so it will launch itself. And here we are with the BetterGeoEdu installed. Do you have questions, Eric, Maxime, Pierre, Alidor?
Not for me, thank you.
Okay.
Well, I have a question. So where can we find all the possible mods? Is there a place on the internet where all the available mods are listed, or is there a possibility to search for mods? Because here we are on the BetterGeoEdu website that we know, but if I was looking for other mods, where would I go?
Yeah, good question. There are a few places where you can search. First, of course, you can search in Google what you're searching for. Like if you wanna add some blocks or materials in the game, you can just search for Minecraft mod new blocks. So here it will propose some things. But the best size, which one are they? I see Minecraft.fr for the French speakers. Here is quite a good site to start searching. Most of the maps and mods will be in English anyway, just the French community. So the forums are in French, but the mods are in general in English. Which one are they?
Okay, so it's the intention of BetterGeo of this project also to have different versions, different translations, and that's something we are working on to make sure that we have BetterGeoEdu in Swedish and English, but also in French, Spanish, and other languages.
Yeah, exactly. I think you can search for a few other communities that will lead you to it.
Okay.
And I also have a question.
Yeah, of course.
So in fact, in the game, everybody can design his own map and own game, and then you can upload it. So in Minecraft, you have several games. You can have several games.
Yes. So I'll show you how you can select games here. From here, you can have your personal worlds in solo.
Map. Mm-hmm,
Yes,
okay.
your maps. And here you have the multiplayer servers. So you just have to add a server in this address, and then normally you can connect. You can find the servers on different sites like Minecraft.fr.
Okay.
You just have to pay attention to the versions, the maps, the mods, and the servers are.
Okay, thanks. It was to be sure, so thanks.
Yeah. And it's the same here for installing new maps. You can also go on the percent updated percent and go in these folders. You have the saves where you can put different maps here, like you put the mod and plugins.
Okay, perfect.
So okay, I see on the chat there is a question from Kudo Swiss. So Alexi, is BetterGeoEdu already available with the latest version of Minecraft? No, the mod is actually only available with the 1.7 version. We'll see if we make a new version with the latest updates. But it's quite a complicated mod, as you'll see and as I'll explain. So the purpose of the mod and of the project is to help teachers to teach to young students about raw materials, geology, recycling, and things of that order. So I don't think it's a priority to implement a new version in 1.12, 1.40 or 14 or things like that. I think the easiest way to do it is to keep the version because the code, the game Minecraft itself has a really changing code, and it's really difficult to update every time to update a mod every time Minecraft itself updates. And yes, so as you see, Alexi, it's quite. You may be cautious with the mobs you use with it, but I think the most of the important mobs and popular ones, like World Edit and things like that, can be found in the older versions, like the 1.7. So it may be compatible, but I've not checked yet. So I quickly introduce Minecraft to everyone. So I'll start by making a new world. So you see here, I'm starting a new game. There's a few mods in Minecraft, or a few game modes. So survival, hardcore, creative. The difference between them, survival, you're gonna have to survive, find your own blocks and materials, find a way to get food and things like that, and you can die. And the creative one, the other better known of the mod, as you see, you have unlimited resources. So you basically you are a godlike creature. When you have unlimited access to materials, you can fly, you can destroy blocks instantly, and you don't have to pay attention to living creatures, to monsters, and you can die. So here I show you the survival version first, and you have to allow cheat. It's better if you want to be free to explain the new whatever you want. So here I load the cheats. It takes a few seconds to load a new world and build a new map, because the game has to create everything procedurally. So here we are on the beginning of a new adventure. So you see here that I have nothing in my inventory. You see here there is a village that has been generated, environments, landscape, creatures are spawning. So it's the basics of Minecraft when you initiate a game. Here you have two things to do in Minecraft. First, you have to mine, so to destroy things to get materials, and then you'll have to craft. So as you see here, there are different recipes that permit you to create things from the materials you are getting. I just show you quickly the beginnings. Every time everything starts about the same way, and so from now on you have things to mine, you have things to chop wood and things like that. Yeah.
Originally, the recipes are not available, communicated to the players, or?
Originally, it's intended to have you discover all the recipes.
Yeah.
Nobody does that, obviously.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So you just have to check the Minecraft guides, and you'll have things to.
Okay.
to know the different recipes. So you can here search for different recipes and things like that on the different wikias. It's quite easy when you get the hand of it on it.
Sure.
So the first thing is taking some wood, creating the basics, and then you want to go in different caves to take different stones to make better equipment that will allow you to destroy more things. You see that when I hit something, it's breaking
Slowly.
yeah, quite slowly. And here it gave me nothing. With a wooden pickaxe, you can take some stone more quickly and get the things you couldn't have had without the pickaxe. So.
And what can you find in the stones?
So originally, if you play with the normal version of the game, you just can find stone, and then you'll have a few blocks that I show you. So I'm gonna cheat and go in the creative mode. So when I have everything to my disposition. So right now I'm like the god of the game of this world. You can find these things. This is the panel with the original features of Minecraft, and then you'll have the one for BetterGeo. First, I explain a bit about the normal one. So here you normally have these types of things you can find in the game. So these are the principal materials you'll want to find. If I get myself back here with a good pickaxe, you'll see that it gives me different things. So, as you explained me, Eric, a bit earlier, a few days ago, this isn't really logical thing to have like gold, iron, and diamonds just in stone. And so the BetterGeoEdu Project created new type of stones, soils, and things like that, where you can find a more realistic way of finding ores and minerals and rocks.
Okay.
So if you they created new ores, so new rocks containing metals, for example, titanium I just saw, but then it also means that you need to create recipes that will use that titanium, I guess. So you have to build a full story.
Yeah, exactly. So here, what I'll do, first, do you have any questions about the normal game, I say? At this point, do you have any questions before I continue with the BetterGeoEdu versions?
I had one question which has to do with, okay, this is a three-dimensional landscape that
Yes.
you played on the screen. So is there any possibility to be immersed, to have a virtual, to have a headset, or is it always played on two-dimensional screens?
There is a version of Minecraft in VR, donc in virtual reality. It's a project that the company that created Minecraft is currently working on. So I think the virtual reality version of Minecraft isn't compatible yet with many mods. I don't even know if they already have mods. And they certainly do not have BetterGeoEdu. But I think in a few months, years, or maybe already now, we could eventually think about implementing the BetterGeoEdu mod in VR. It's something that's possible, but it would ask quite an effort from the programmers that would have to do that. But it's technically possible. Do you have any more questions about the game? It's a really simplistic.
And so with diamonds, gold, and citrus, you can just make object, or you can do more.
So
exchange, for example, gold for, I don't know, exchange something with someone or trading.
Originally, you just could create new things. Like with the diamonds, you can create diamond shovel, pickaxe, axes,
Okay.
or equipment like chest plates, swords, and things like that you can equip here. Like you can be here and have more resistance, resilience to the ones of the monsters and on the falling. Here, if we are quite lucky, we are directly near to a village, and you can speak to the villagers, and you can give them emeralds, and they give you some of the things. But the trading perspective of Minecraft is quite reduced. Yeah, it's not really perfect. In the new versions and the new updates, they added more possibilities, but here with the 1.7 version we are gonna play, it's quite something we are not going to use a lot, because it's requiring a very specific material that's emerald, which can be found in very specific regions, which I think are not quite accurate. It's like at a certain depth and only in the mountain type landscape. So here, if you how to say it, in the game you will have holes in the earth, which can lead you to gigantic cracks and mines. And you can find things in it, or you can just go down here like that, create a staircase and descend more and more.
So you need to dig these caves yourself, or there are already some caves?
There are already some caves that are naturally generated.
Yeah,
Here I didn't.
you were in a cave, no?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So it depends. You can stop right here, or it can continue for a few until the lowest depths. You can see here, if I push on the F3 button, I can see coordinates here, and you have the Y axis that indicates me at which depth I'm at. And some materials are only found in the depths like 20 or between the 0 and 30 blocks above the surface, like diamonds, emerald, and things like that. So that's for the general, the basics of Minecraft. I just take another game that I started myself to discover the plugins. So here are the things I already get, and a place where I started my adventure. So normally in a normal game, you'd have to take some iron here, iron ore. You take it here. This is here with some coal. It will start to burn, and when it's done, you'll get an iron ore. So
and that's next to your bedroom. That's next to your bedroom.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is the GeoEdu mode, I guess.
So this is how it happens in the classical way of playing Minecraft.
In the classical, you already have to melt your...
Yes.
Okay, to smelt your... Oh, okay.
Here, in the BetterGeoEdu way, you have this, which is a smeltery. We can take the different materials, like the gabbro with copper in it. You have to melt it and melt quite the quantity, like eight pieces of the eight or of the gabbro, of the stock, to only have one ingot and a bit of slag, so of how to say it, of things rejected that you don't really want.
It's clearly waste.
Yeah, exactly, waste.
Okay.
And so if you don't have enough, there won't be any more ingot. So I think it's a bit more realistic for just forget the fumes in my wooden home.
It's interesting because I was wondering the notion of waste.
Yeah, so in normal Minecraft there isn't any waste. Here there is, and you have to bring quite the amount of material to get an ingot. Here you can see I already have like 10 iron ingots. Here I would have to take many more material to have the same amount of ingots.
Because regarding the some notion of recycling, I was thinking that when you look at the definition of recycling, it's of course mainly about waste and end of life. So is there a process of depletion of materials, construction materials that become waste with time, for example?
Yes. I don't really know the example of, I think, I forgot exactly, but during the Industrial Revolution, the coke, which was a byproduct of something else, and we had new perspective, steel that created some slag that can be used. I just put it down to a more visible. And so here you can see that in the BetterGeoEdu mod, the soils around my house where I created where I melted my ingots are now polluted, and so I have to create new things to like the flue gas cleaner to clean the air around in the soil. It's quite difficult to do it like in a legit way, so I haven't played the game in this version enough to get it.
Okay.
So right now I'm gonna have to pollute a bit more if I want to produce a bit more to be able to clean. What would yes, and something else. There is the other difference between the original game and the BetterGeo version is that in the game iron ore is really a common thing. You can find it quite everywhere, so you'll quickly have an equipment like an iron pickaxe, an iron sword, an iron axe. Here the iron is quite difficult to get, but the diamond, which is normally the most valuable thing in Minecraft, with a really rare resource, you can find just stacks and huge amounts of diamonds, quite easy to take. I don't know if I can find it again, but you had like huge stacks of kimberlite. Yeah, Eric, you wanna say something?
That is strange. It's probably because you are sitting on top of a kimberlite.
Yeah. I found, while I was wandering the earth, I found kimberlite in a massive amount of kimberlite, which gave me loads and loads of diamonds somewhere around here. I don't exactly remember where.
So in South Africa.
Yeah, so and so I just skipped totally the iron part the iron stage of the game to be full diamond, and I just had to stop mining because my inventory here, you see, was completely full of diamond, and I was bored of mining loads of diamonds.
Yeah, that's an extreme case because diamond is extremely rare, of course, but you're sitting on the kimberlite. So I guess in BetterGeoEdu, there is more realism in the sense that you can only find some type of ore in certain places depending on the geology.
Yeah. Here
And did you play with other maps?
No, I only played with this one.
To check if it's just if you're sitting on a kimberlite and maybe in another map you were sitting on an iron ore deposit. I don't know. It was to have an idea.
Yeah, maybe. Here I went like 300 bolog in this direction, and I found it while I was wandering. I was searching for caves, and I just happened to find it. I think the feature of the BetterGeoEdu, which differs from the normal version, is that in the normal version you should have to go in the 20th depth here in the y-axis, in the y-axis, and you'll find sporadic achievements of sporadic example of the diamond ore here. You'll find like 2-3 diamond ores, and then you'll have to search for more. But you can find it really everywhere in the ground. Here you have to luckily find some kimberlite, but once you find one place where there is some, you'll find huge amounts of it.
Okay. But I guess when you develop a mod, you specify the rarity of the different materials you create. No.
Yeah.
They can probably constrain the kimberlite that you will encounter.
Yeah, of course, but in fact, the mod is quite impressive because it has to recreate all the procedural generation and all the laws of the creation of worlds in Minecraft. So I think it's something quite hard to do.
Sure, of course.
But I guess they can adjust it, but it's quite random. It's procedural, so it's quite random the amount of kimberlite you can find. I could have just roamed the earth for hundreds and hundreds of blocks without finding it.
Yeah, sure.
I think I was just truly lucky.
Sorry, I had a question. Sorry, I had a question about. I saw that there are many different kind of rocks. So, for example, gneiss, etc., which contain no metals. But what are the purpose of these rocks? What can you do with them? For the rocks, I'm not sure exactly what are the properties. There are some rocks, some type of rocks you can find. Yeah, you have metals inside them, but the other one, I don't know. So.
Maxime, it's like in nature. I mean, not every rock can be used, or you can use it as a building material, I guess, or it just gives you context. You know more or less where you are, and then you.
Yes, exactly.
You can be close. You can be close to some kind of rock based on the geology. So
that's it. That's it, exactly. The point of Minecraft, the ultimate point in general, is to build things and make them beautiful, and you'll want to use these different blocks and rocks to make new uses in your construction. So here it's the village here has been made by the game itself, but I could use different rocks to create different constructions.
Because, for example, if you're using shale to make your house, normally it will be weathered quickly. So is it possible in the game that the house is collapsed or things like this?
No, just another thing I should add to the presentation of Minecraft is that it's quite simple, so it doesn't really how to say it, respect the gravity and the physical laws
Okay.
of the world. So
Yeah, I
here
saw
I
when you
have
cut the tree. Yeah.
yeah, here I have some garnets, so it's quite rare rock, I think, that has been made into a block. And if I want, I can just start building like that, and even do this and it won't collapse.
Okay.
But it adds new perspective in the construction, in the building.
Okay.
But the effect of time is limited as well, because you.
Yeah, as well, you won't have to suffer the consequences of time.
I see that animals suffer the
Disappear. Yes.
Like
so a pig disappear. Yeah.
yeah, because he work on the poisonous soil,
Okay.
and so
Okay. He was not
Ah.
dying of old age.
now
Okay.
stop put away the rain. What did I want to say then? Yeah, there is one climatical and meteorological phenomenon that has been added to the BetterGeoEdu. It's that some materials that are normally quite friable in the game, if you find them near water, they can destroy themselves, like they can dissolve and know the effect of the erosion and liberate some materials. But there are just one or two blocks that have this property. I think it's something we could use in this mod, but I think it's quite complicated to code, to program, but it's something we can think about.
Okay.
Well, it's a different question, but usually when you start a game, how long will you play? I mean, what is the final achievement, and how long will it take? Will you play just one session, or will you come back to this world like 10, 20 times and play for several months?
So it really depends on the person who is playing. I've had maps that I played for like a full year, nearly every day, creating things of my own. In general, you can find servers with friends, create servers with friends and games with friends or with strangers, and you may be able to play longer. But in general, yes, the game is has been thought to be played in a long duration, in a long time over multiple sessions and things like that. Just that I tend to not play it as much as I did because I already have played like 5,000 hours to the game. So when I create a new game, I don't have much things to do. But really, you can do whatever you want. There is no real objective in the game. There is one, a little story where you go in another world, a more chaotic world, and you go defeat a dragon. But except for that part, you don't have really a defined objective.
Okay.
I guess one of the points is the pleasure of doing stuff and the creativity.
Yeah, that's it.
Develop your creativity.
Exactly. So.
But the interactions with, I mean, most of the material you and the stuff you build, it's mainly for aesthetic purposes.
Yes, mainly.
Of interaction possible with some equipment. I see that you have, for example, a crate in your house.
Yeah. You can, so you have the bed to sleep nights, save the game, your chest to keep everything you want to keep. And then in the normal version, you have things like, which we have? You have like furnace, anvil to create some things and enchant them with the enchantment table. You'll have some frame to hang to the walls, things like that, signs to write things, books,
Okay.
things like that. You can write books. And
Okay.
yeah.
What is quite surprising is that we are in the Middle Ages. In fact, we have very simple
Yeah.
tools and
You
only
don't have
using
electricity, for example.
the base metals. No, there's no electricity. There is no car, no electronics.
So just
Typically,
over that,
Middle
there's two remarks, two things to note. First, with the books that you can create, you can see here that the BetterGeo mode created is given with a few books about the different minerals and salts and things like that. And in fact, there is a kind of electricity. So you're in the Middle Age, but there is normally, originally, something called the redstone, which is a powder that you find in rocks, in redstone rocks, that can be used to build electric circuits and creation. Like there are guys who create automatic farms, who create some machines to calculate things and stuff like that.
Okay.
I've seen guys create like traffic lights which functions with this. It's a totally invented material, but in the BetterGeoEdu version, you have they've changed it to be copper,
Yeah, sure. Okay.
which has the same purposes, which is to say create electric device. And here you can see that you have quite a few things more that you can find in the BetterGeoEdu version, which are scanners, batteries, defibrillators, jetpacks, and so to go to the near lava and things like that.
Do you have to fuel those equipment with batteries or?
I think you have to, and so you have the lithium batteries here.
Okay,
so you
yeah,
have
yeah.
to discover lithium
Okay.
to create it.
Okay.
Do you have any other questions about the game or the mod itself?
Not me, not for the moment.
No, not me. Either.
Okay, so if I can propose this, we could start to think about what we could do to implement recycling in the game.
Yeah.
I don't know if you already have ideas that came to you by watching watching the game here, or I can just explain what has been proposed by other players, and we can think about these propositions. What do you prefer?
Maybe I have an idea about the different tools you get, axes, etc. So maybe you can recycle the old tools. I don't know which way, but maybe melt them again, or I don't know. So I see also that you get batteries. So can you recycle them? So maybe the objects you get and you cannot use anymore, is it possible to recycle them? That's my question.
First, there are propositions already of mods that permit you to destroy like use pickaxe. Here you can see that I use it quite a few times, so its durability is diminished, and I can with some mods I can destroy it and get back some diamonds.
And you get back the totality of diamonds and maybe woods you use, or not?
No, you get some
It's
a
good.
small amount.
Okay,
It
good.
would be completely overpowered. You like wait to have one durability and then you destroy it and get a new pickaxe back. It would defeat the purpose of the game.
Okay, perfect.
So something I showed you earlier when I started is that you can create stuff here, but if you put the stuff back, you can't have the materials back. There are
And how do
few
you
exceptions, but not many. You were about to say?
Maxime?
Oui, yes.
Yes. My question was, yeah, and how do you do it if you want to dismantle this tool?
Well, you don't.
Okay, you
So
can't. Okay.
you can destroy it by using it too much when you are in the survival
At the end,
mode.
it's gonna break by itself.
Yes, it's gonna break.
Okay.
If I hit too much things with it, you'll see the durability diminish.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, I
yeah.
trust you. Okay.
But there is a few ways to destroy things. I presented it already orally to Eric. So here I take the shovel. First, I can just make this, and hop, it's gone. In a few minutes, if I go too far, it will disappear. It's what we call despawn. So blocks here that are in this state, when you throw them, when you fail to gather things, they tend to disappear. So the game can continue running without lag and without problem. If you had like 1 million of these blocks generated here, the whole game would crash and you couldn't play anymore. The second way to destroy things is to take lava and throw things in it, and it will disappear with 0 consequences. So you can just burn things and they disappear from the existence and the reality. And finally, I think I have to take sand and cactuses. And if I put this, I can, cactus has the property to make things disappear from reality too. So the problem in Minecraft is that the elemental rules of nature and of physics are not really respected. There is no principle of conservation.
And they want to change this in the BetterGeoEdu mode. For example, to make appear lava like this is maybe not so good in the BetterGeoEdu mode.
It hasn't been proposed yet by the creators, but that's our job to do it.
Does it mean that we can block? Because these are traditional functionalities of the basic Minecraft, that we could block them. That's what you're telling me.
Yes, I think yes, we could, with the good programming, we could just say that the cactus keeps hurting the players. Like if I go here, I hurt. So you can see it because I've got a good armor. Or you can go into lava and you'll eventually die. But you could say that there is no more the property of the cactus or the lava to make things disappear. Another possibility, I think, which could be used in Minecraft with the lava, when you put things in lava, I think they tend to melt. That's what I've been told. Like if I go myself bath in lava, I probably won't be fine. But I think there are emissions of gases, of carbon, things like that, and I think you could create pollution, like here, resulting the melting of things. You can see that some things are burning while too close to lava. So tell me, what do you think about it? Because in my opinion, the better version would be to avoid the possibility of cactus making things disappear. And lava, I think you'd want to let the players throw things in lava and it would destroy the things. It's useful in the game because when you get close to lava, you start to being afraid for your stuff. If you die in lava, all your stuff disappears because it's melted. But
what is strange is that you can make appear lava like this. So.
Yeah, it's just because in this version you are technically a god, so you can do whatever you want. But in the survival mode, you couldn't.
Okay. It's because you can. Okay.
Yeah. You can if you're in survival and you have a bucket, you go to a source of lava. You find some lava. You can take lava within the bucket and then put it wherever you want.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you can. But I think the better things to do would be to generate pollution while things burn in lava.
Definitely. That's true also for your furnace. Well, it's already included, but there should be more options to include environmental impact. Both mining, metallurgy are things that have to be done separate from where you're living. So it's something that I miss a bit in this story here, how we take the environmental impact into consideration.
Yes, it's because I wasn't planning on farming really, so I didn't really care about the environment when I was playing. But you see that already you have pollution in the soil. I think the thing like carrots and weed that I'm growing here won't be as good or won't grow at the same speed as these should originally do.
Okay,
And,
I see. Yeah.
Yeah, and if I work here, I get poisoned due to the pollution. I don't know if you want to add something about this topic, precisely, if you have other ideas.
Another one, but maybe it's too much geology, I don't know. But sometimes you have a lake maybe on a hill, and you can find just nearby a cave. And normally in the nature, the cave will be filled with water too. So I don't know if maybe it's too much. So I don't know, but it shocked me in the first glance. So
it is common sense here.
Right? Yeah, but you can find a cave just near a lake. Maybe I don't know. Maybe if you dig too deep, you can find water, or because it's a problem for mining. So maybe include this in the
exactly.
game.
Yeah, dumping water from the mine. Yeah.
So I think yes,
it's possible to have a lake on a mountain, but in the first cave there were a lake just nearby, a cave.
Yes.
If I remember well.
Yes, you want me to go to the other world?
But just to show you, yeah.
Yeah, yes, no problem. I think I see the one you are talking about. So,
yeah, it's here. You know, you have a cave, and just nearby you get the lake. So normally the water should fill the cave.
Yes.
It's strange for us. So.
Here, you see that there is no connection between the cave and the lake. So just
yeah, but I thought in the reality normally there is a connection, so it's impossible to find a cave except if you make your own lake, so with geotextile and so on.
So
the idea of having flooded lakes flooded mines is a good idea.
Yeah, I think so too. I tried something else next, but just to show you how water pours here. If you do this, the source is quite infinite, but will eventually stop if it goes down. It won't stop.
Okay.
But once you have reached plane surface, you'll see that it says something like 5 blocks, and then it will just stop.
Okay. Like infiltration or something like that. Okay.
Yeah, that's something that could be changed, I guess.
And is it possible when you dig normally that you dig a block of rocks and then water is coming by itself? Is it possible or not? It's happened in the game?
Yeah, they are generated. There are sources that are already generated in the game.
Okay. Because it's happened in mining sometimes. That you can have some
try
underground
something
water.
like there's no vision exactly of what I'm doing here. Where I'm going. I should be good. And yes,
you find water.
here if I do that, the water will start pouring and will flood a bit, but as you see, not the whole cave will be flooded.
Okay, that's a good start. So okay, good.
If I take back this one, I'm gonna start wandering a bit while we are talking, and I'll try to find some place. I'll just.
Maxime, are you moving with a joystick or are you just playing with your keyboard?
I'm playing with my keyboard here.
Okay.
Okay, no, that's not a good one. Well, I'm lost here, so I just will try to go and explore a bit of the environment while we are talking. I try to find caves and to see if I can find a mine, because the programmers created procedurally generated mines in caves.
Like
So
lava with the...
yeah, you can see that
Okay.
naturally there are lava that exists, and the spawn in the world without really
And the mine next door, yeah.
without really any reason to it. So here.
They know the source of the meters.
So this is a single player mode. So are you alone in that world? Because I've seen some creatures. So
yeah, I'm alone.
there are people that are not moving. Okay.
I'm alone with a few animals, a few villagers. I could put the game in normal difficulty, and then there would be monsters spawning. I can do it since it's.
No, I was not thinking about monsters, but just about people. If there are a lot of people living in some places, again,
but
looking at these aspects of environment.
There are no players here, no others than me. But I could totally create a server, put the mod to the server and the map, and we could play together in the BetterGeoEdu mode and create it. We could, even if you have the resources like a good server, things like that, we can host for about 100 connections, and there could be 100 people playing at the same time or at different times in the same map. And we just.
And how big is the map? Because I have no idea who created the map and how big it is. I mean, can you walk for hours in this landscape, or is it much smaller? I have no idea.
So the map is about, I think people in the chat will correct me, but it's like 100 times bigger than Earth. So you could work for like a full year, non-stop, 24 hours, 7 days a week, and just don't get to the end of the map. There are actually some players that are trying to do this in live, and the example of this.
They build a plane and
how can you get back home? Do you have coordinate systems, or do you have a function to jump back home? Or?
Here I have coordinate systems. I just went right right in front of me. So actually, I know where I spawn. An option would be to just go here and then to this, and I would die, lose all my stuff, and then respawn at my original place. So I tend not to do it. So you saw quickly, briefly, I show another time to explain this. If I do it again and I die, my stuff just gets here. I can take it back if I do it on time. And if it falls to in lava when I die, so when I die by being burned by lava, it will disappear. So it's what I was talking about earlier, that lava is an important mechanic of the game, and it's a vector of fear, generally. I'm searching for cave. I haven't been really lucky until now. As soon as I can, I'll show you one that...
There's one on the no? Okay.
Yes, hope it will use and take some torches.
Can you test the nature of a block when you see a block, or you know it by the color? But if not, can you query what kind of block it is?
Here I can, well, again in game I can take it to know what it is. I won't know its properties, but I can learn its properties by the time I take to destroy things, the time I take to destroy it. But his name will just appear when I have it destroyed. And you can find different books with informations. Block here is quite a good case.
My feeling when I saw players, they go always very, very fast. So they're moving very fast and don't really take time to understand the world around them, the different natures of rocks. So in terms of education here, it would be interesting to look at the sequence of rocks and to understand what they represent. But of course, the game itself is always going very fast.
Yes, it's that in generality when you see people playing online, they already know what they're doing and they have explored the world for hours. But yes, while I first played the game, I took my pickaxe and I really like just mining about everything to know what is this and questioning. Okay. So here I found feldspar. I have no idea of the translation in French, but okay, I can see that there are some blocks of granite here that can give me feldspar. So from now on, I know that if I keep mining granite, I eventually be able to.
In BetterGeoEdu, that's quite important because it indicates which kind of ore you can expect in this context. Probably that's how it's. So knowing the geology, you know whether you have any chance to find diamonds or gold or iron.
So here I see that I found marble next to it, and far right, far from it.
That's thing.
It's possible. Yeah.
So I can see the speed, at which speed I break the granite. I can see that marble is destroyed faster. So these are the things I can learn. Something else to know is that different tools in the game work with different things. So if I go back in this mode, you can see that I'm quite quick and quite really depend on the perspective to destroy it with a pickaxe. With an axe, it would do nothing to nearly nothing to it, and would take so much time. That's the same with a wooden shovel. It would take me about as much time as doing it by hand. So
And the mine is not collapsing. It's not collapsing. Apparently, you can do what you want.
yes, and so there are different types of blocks that you can know with it. So the soils will be destroyed faster with the shovel and won't be affected by pickaxe. So when I say it won't be affected, it means that the time I take to destroy it will be the same as when I do it by hand or with another thing in my hand. So I know it's a soil, or I know it's a rock, or I know it's some type of wood or a furniture that's based on wood and things like that. So here I couldn't find the cave I expected. Here I'm searching for cave that would lead me to not really the exit, because if I want to exit I can just do that. But I could, while I'm exploring like in a legit way, I have some code, like I put my torches in this direction, and when I'm down this side of the wall, I know that I'm going to the depths or to the surface. Here I put them for light mostly. But so I'm trying to find a cave which has already a mine in it. So when I enter it, there are already lights and there are already wooden constructions in it. This is a procedural thing, so it's created with the world. It's like a natural thing. But it would be nice to be able to show you how the mod shows it. It could give you some ideas, maybe. Eventually.
And do you have some oil on gas or gases?
No.
Some fuel or?
So I've seen that there are batteries, but except for this, when you have a furnace or a smeltery, there are a few things you can use to light it on and to burn. Wood, of course, and derivative, like a wooden pickaxe could be used to alimент a furnace. I also can use coal, which is more potent. It can burn much longer.
So you can have coal, okay.
And finally, lava buckets. So it's something like if I take a furnace and I put like my pickaxe in it, and then I put some iron here, you'll see that my pickaxe disappear, and can you see the flame that indicate the quantity of material I have. So here you see that I can burn only one iron ingot with it. If I was to use a lava bucket, it would burn for 100 iron ores. So there already is difference in materials that you can use to lighten the furnace. Yeah, different source of energy, exactly. I think the mod proposed something about temperature, but I haven't encountered anything that's needed more temperature, something like that. Like if I take the smeltery, you can see that there are different sources of energy you can add, but I don't exactly know what they use, and I think it's something we can use more and develop. Like you tell me, but I guess different ores, different materials have different temperatures to melt.
Yeah, sure. Very different, yeah.
And I think we couldn't use that in the BetterGeoEdu mod.
that's what they've started doing. So the
Yeah.
rarity of some ores, the hardness of some ores, and the energy needed to extract metals. These are things which are easy to include in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I have a practical question.
Yes.
The BetterGeoEdu. So the purpose of it is to provide tools for teachers to teach kids some aspects of the mineral industry. And is there already a framework established? Like, for example, the teacher can set a number of achievements.
Eric, you want to answer?
Yeah, I mean, I understand that BetterGeoEdu is provide a lot of possibilities for the teachers, and in the end, is it easy to set up a game when you, for example, the objectives player wants to reach some of the achievements that you want to impose?
I do not understand you very well, but indeed, we were not part of the previous BetterGeoEdu project. But indeed, the intention is to use the Minecraft game to have activities like not that long, like 20 minutes, half an hour.
Yeah,
in the
okay.
classroom, and next to it, eventually also have eventually real ores or real pieces of rocks to also make it real, not just virtual.
Yeah, okay.
I think there are already quite a few exercises and frameworks that have been prepared by the creators of the mod. I think so you can find them in the BetterGeoEdu website, like in educational materials, and we actually
Yes.
the different teams of the project are working on it.
Okay. Yeah.
So yes, there are already things, and in Minecraft there is normally achievements that you can get for doing things, and there is the Minecraft normal ones, and here they are the special ones made by BetterGeoEdu.
Yeah.
So you
Okay.
see that I found the world's most common mineral, so the feldspar, and then with it, if I get enough, I can craft a smeltery. And then with smeltery, I'll be able to create other things and get different achievements.
So that's a good way to drive people to do whatever you want them to do. For example, if you want to use this, teach kids how to refine copper, you can just ask them to fill those achievements, for example, during one session.
Yes, I think so. I think there are two different uses, two different type of uses. First, it's really directed play with exercises prepared, like you in advance you prepare the world, you create some things, you build stuff,
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
and then
yeah.
you let students play the game you have prepared.
Yeah. Sure. That would be nice.
You can also, and I think it can be good to think about it. You can just think about the players that will, the students, the kids that will just take the game and play like I did myself.
Yeah. Sure. Of course.
I think that's two things that could be.
I was just wondering about try some mods that are more educational, because I understand that there are a lot of mods available. Yeah, either it's used in some context, educational context, either it's available and people who are curious get to spend time discovering.
Yes, that's it.
Okay.
But here the mod is mainly done for practical exercises that teachers prepare for the students.
Okay, yeah, sure.
That's
I
the
guess.
main purpose.
And I have another question also. is each metal got a specific application, or you just can make some axes and shovels or with it? Because I see that you can have axes with diamonds or gold, or and before you just find ferrite. So is it a specific object that you could use with zinc or?
So in the normal version, there are like three minerals that are three materials, four if you include wood. So you have wood, then iron, which is stronger and have a better durability. Then you have the gold that is even stronger but has really low durability, and then the diamond that has the best effect and the best durability. And you can do about everything with this. Iron
But
is used.
for example, if you find you just find ferrite, so you can have zinc. So can you do a specific object with zinc?
So here in BetterGeo, yes, I think you have three different things like battery charger, polishing machine, recycling station, and things like that.
Or simply roofs.
Yeah, that can be.
Yeah, but something like this, yeah.
Yeah, that you need specific materials to make
Okay.
them.
So there is
Yes.
a list of objects which need specific metal. Okay.
Yes, but I think if we want to add metals and materials and encourage players to play longer parts, we have to create new uses and think about uses and creations of the with the
A new
gods.
object. Okay.
Yes.
And what are you doing with? I see you have fossils. So what do you do with this?
I think that just for exposition, so you can
Okay.
have an extra quick exposition. Here you can see that wandering around, I found here what appeared to be skarn. I thought it was permalite. I think I was confused. Yeah, that's not the diamond I thought it was. I'm not really familiar yet with the game.
Yeah, you should not find diamond here. So it's logical to find tungsten.
Yeah, there is, yes, and they have to have specific conditions for diamonds to be produced. Yes, you're right. But as I don't really know these conditions myself, in general, I'm just wandering the earth. So here.
So I think that would be interesting to think about how to constrain the player to have to mine some of the metals. For example, if the environment rough house can be deteriorated by the rain, you have to find something to create a and like that. I mean I think the hardest it is to survive and have a proper house and some basic functionalities. Maybe it will bring you to find out how to some of the metals available.
Yeah, in the game there are a couple of environments you can find. So there are like the geological and tropical regions, like with what we could think as a European, like Mediterranean temperature and weather. Then you can have a desert when you could have specific needs in the desert, and then you can have tundras and taigas, which are icelands. And yeah, I think it would be really a good thing
You
to
have snow as well. You rain, you have snow. Okay, yes.
I think yes. In fact, you have snow, but you have to be in an area with snow already, and when it rains, it can snow.
Okay.
Another option, another proposition I saw on recycling properly is to how to say it? I said earlier that you could craft things, and take a crafting table. So I showed you how to craft things. There are a few blocks that you can how to say it? You can craft in a way, and the process is reversible.
Yeah.
So like if you normally in the later versions, if you take like closer now, like she would be copper, you can make blocks of copper, and normally if you do this, you can have 9 copper back. Take them again, and there'll be a block of copper, and again and again. So it's something that exists in the game, and I think we could add things like if you take sorry, here cobblestone, you can make cobblestone walls, but if you put cobblestone walls back, you can't do anything more with them. It's like the end of their life will be
Yes.
as cobblestone walls,
Yeah.
and so once it's done, you can do anything more with them. I think we have some blocks and some items like the cobblestone walls that you could recycle in other things. Like you could put here the walls, and you would get back like I don't know, 4 blocks of stone and blocks of gravel. So some scraps and things like that. I think could be something to implement.
Yes, that would be interesting, definitely. And I think to motivate people to cycle, it's useful if it has a negative impact on the environment. For
Yeah,
example, we recycle plastics because they have so it takes so much time to disintegrate in the nature.
Mhm.
But in this case, it might be another. We might find other ideas to have bad effects.
yeah.
That some materials should be recycled. If they are not, you have bad consequences for it.
Yes, I think one that's quite realistic, that's you, Eric, that told me so, is that there is a question of space, like, and while you have just too much things and you want to make some space, you would
Yeah.
want to recycle things. Like when I play a game for a few hours, I end up with a chest full of things I just won't use ever,
Yeah.
and being
But here
able to.
you don't have landfill here, so you're not generating that much waste that you need to put aside. It seems that you're not consuming a lot, and it's also not very densely populated. So
Yeah,
it's
you
true
should
that,
not be able to store so many rocks in
Yeah,
your
yeah,
crate. I think that's
there's a lot of space here, it seems.
yeah.
yeah, of course. But while you play a game, in general, you'll end up with like loads
Sure, of course.
of chests full of things you don't want, and you don't
Yeah.
want to. Then when you need something specific, you just won't know where it is. So people have to tend to organize them and end up with like 50 chests full of
Yes.
garbage for them.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, even if you don't, if you aren't limited, really.
It still annoys you that
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
I just do it so I can respond
Okay.
here.
Yeah, that
So
would
here
be
you already know that I have a chest with like things I won't ever use, nearly. And that's with like 3 or 4 hours of playing the games. I have another checks for books, another with my materials, another with my diamonds. So this one will, in a few hours, become 2 chests, then 3, then 4, and I just won't know what to do with all this.
And is it possible to constrain the map or not? Because it's going to be a good option, you know, because your resources are limited and you accumulated objects and you want to recycle them.
There are in fact some players that create special maps which have limited place and limited resources. It's quite a common playing mode.
Okay,
So
if
yes,
that's possible. Or maybe an island and you are not there on
totally.
your small island.
Totally. And if you create, there are programs like I think it's World Builder MC Edit, like this MC Edit, which is used to create maps from nothing. So you like program it, and then you just have the things you have created. So it's like the old versions of the beliefs about Earth, while you go to the end of the world and then there is just nothing. It's just a huge fall, and you die if you go too far away. You can create a world that's like that.
That would be interesting. Yes, I think so.
So yeah, totally, you can do it. With a bit of training, it's quite simple to learn how to create map and design maps like this. And I think we could, you could, let's say, you could design maps that could be used by students and teachers. So
where you have limited resources.
Yeah, exactly.
Where you have to buy several instructions, but you don't have enough resources to build everything. You have to recycle stuff. I don't know the possibility.
That's possibilities we could think and elaborate on it. I think someone in the chat on the live is telling me to craft a battery. I would like to do it, but I don't know how to. So first thing I could do is go on the wiki. So I've got here normally there is a Wikia page for BetterGeoEdu. So it's been created by the team that developed the mod. And if I search for a battery,
that's where you will find the lithium ingots.
So yeah, exactly.
One steel and one lithium ingot.
Yes. So first, I have to know how to make steel. So I have to learn that it's 7 iron ingots, 1 tungsten ingot, and 1 coal. Then I have to know the lithium, so I have to find lithium and so I have to mine a bit to find some. The other possibility here, I could show how to do it with the ores here.
You should look for granite, not just randomly.
Yeah, but of course, but to find it, I think I have to like explore a bit, like I was a first human on the world, and I didn't know that Africa was full of diamonds. So here I'm
No, it would be good to know what the geology is. If you could test the geology here, you see different colors, so that would be good. Of course, the colors are known, but
so here I could yes, what I could do is see the soil. So grass covered till. Look, I see the soil here is till. Here still till here. And then I guess with this type of information, glacial erratic and things like that.
Okay.
I could know the type of environment I mean.
Yeah.
But
what is this?
So Me personally, I don't know. You could tell me better and read me things. If I find books also, so here is
Yeah, no, but it's not good. It's not good.
We should develop geophysics.
Go to hard rocks. Go to a hill maybe, or
yes. Trying to still go over and find some hill. Someone tells me in the chat, so this game is complicated. You need to be an exploration geologist and a Minecraft gamer. Yes, you have to be both.
yeah.
So here I have an hill. I see that there are
We
different
need
sorts.
geophysics. Yeah, that's you need.
So I'll take torches. Okay. Actually, I found something with a mob spawner. So it's something naturally generated by the game. So if you see this moss stone, you know that there are this, and you can take the BetterGeo box here. So even from this, I can see that
We need pegmatite. That's
This is
Pegmatite.
that's for rare earths, but
Right.
and
Pegmatite. Okay.
That's good. Okay, that's what you need to find.
So, it's a magnetic rock that forms dicopiles, cause for some may contain rare minerals, forms several colors, but have similar tones. Okay, so I also can use, like, I'm not sure how to use it, but a magnetic compass technically can indicate things about, I can find things, but I'm not good with them.
No,
Uh,
the red rocks there in the rear. Those red rocks. No.
there, I think there's different type of swords. We'll find out. So, yeah.
And do you have
That's
some
clay.
salts in the game?
Some swords?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there are different type of swords now. Swords now.
Yeah, lithium is in pegmatite,
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
not in the brines.
You like
Okay.
clay-rich teal, puzzle, and things like that.
Because maybe there were some salar, I don't know, and you can catch some salt over there and lithium and bore.
No.
Okay.
Lithium is to be found in hard rock in this case, I guess.
Okay, perfect.
Oh, that's a cool environment. You don't see that in the classical game. So with different type of clay, you can see teal.
You need to dig.
Yes.
Strange to find them over there.
I'm trying to find a cave to initiate the int. I could just go like this randomly and hope to find a cave, like here.
No, that would take hours.
Yeah, but
if we dig randomly, we'll never find any lithium.
in fact, when you play Minecraft originally, that's in general what you want to find. So you want to find a cave and pray for if it's deep enough, if it will show you good things, or you just hope.
Yeah, but that's where BetterGeoEdu is introducing a bit of logics in terms of geology. So, of course, it also means that we need to educate the children maybe before they start playing.
Yes,
if they do it random, if they look randomly, they will never find it.
But I think you have to guide them.
Yeah, of course. Here, what's this?
A fault.
Yeah, you have a crack, and there could be things in it.
It's lava.
So you can see that you have coal here, but there is no. I found some diamond. So if you see, here is kimberlite, and kimberlite with diamonds. If I start digging, I guess I find some
These
more.
are Swedish
Very
diamonds.
good.
Yeah. So you see that you have like nearly an infinite amount of diamonds here. Normally, if I had a pickaxe that would produce diamonds, like
The
loads.
problem is that diamonds are useless. You can't do anything with diamonds.
Yeah, in fact, you can in the
There
game
are
you
no
can.
women in the game, so.
In fact,
Yeah.
you.
That's a good game.
So you'll have like you'll want a few diamonds, and when you have like 50 diamonds, you won't need it anymore, except for making new pickaxe. Why you have that?
Diamond cutting tools. Okay, cutting tools. It's
Yes.
industrial diamonds.
And
That's
once
correct.
you have the best tools, you won't need them anymore. Yes, in fact. So I just start creating diamond blocks and build myself a house full of diamond. That's the only purpose. So here I found a cave. So if I were to play the logical way, you could see that here I can find lapis-lazuli, I can find diorites, and different type of things. Hope to find a mine, but still haven't. But I still don't have pegmalites. While I'm searching, I don't know if you have any more ideas to implement recycling or things.
Don't bother for the battery. If we don't have electricity, the battery will be useless.
Yeah. Here, in fact, I'm searching caves to show things, but I don't really have an objective, a real point.
Strategy, yeah.
It's like something to animate the live. So people don't just see a screen, a black screen, or just this beautiful landscape forever. So you could have.
But it's again something I miss completely. Who created this world, this map? Who created this?
It's a procedurally created map.
Yeah, so it's the computer created it based on the rules that
It's an algorithm.
Yeah, it's an
So it's not totally random. It's not totally random.
No.
There are some rules of rock associations, etc.
Yeah, exactly. Because if it were to be totally random, you would have a landscape that would be something like this, and you'll have.
But it is generated by the computer, but with some basic rules. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So we can affect the rules with the programming team, and to implement new things. So you don't have. In fact, this landscape I think are quite beautiful for a Minecraft player because the superpositions of clay and things like that don't exist in the game. It's quite impressive for me to be able to discover these new landscapes.
It's Monument Valley.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a square sun.
I had a few other principles, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have a few ideas, like there were a mod that's permitted the persons to have a text file and different files in which you could yourself create some recipes to create better things in recycling. So you could invent the recipe I was thinking about earlier, like you take stone walls and you create you get back some materials like rocks and gravel and things like that. So that could be a possibility to add new recipes, to add new things to melt things, or to implement new versions of recycling materials and things like that. I don't know if you have any more ideas.
I mean, it's mainly what I said before. I think if we need to, in order to recycling, we have to have the constraint of waste. So I guess if it's possible to program in some way deterioration of materials, your house, some parts of your house degrade, useless. You have to fix it and recycle the wastes. I don't know, but more specifically, yeah, metals, of course.
Yeah, I think so. Well, it's like it will be like 4 p.m. in like 10 minutes, so I think it's been 2 hours. We are.
Yeah, we will have to stop.
Yeah, I think we'll stop. I see the question: are there any rewards, points, or prizes for playing this game? How do you win? What is the incentive? I see it in the chat. It's a question from the chat. Yeah, so there's the achievement system that learn you what you can earn. You have some achievements, but mainly the goals are the goals you are giving yourself, and if you play with others on the server, the goals you put yourself. So you could decide to, I don't know, create a city or things like that, and you'll have to dig up for materials. Here, I see I found a pyramid, so there are few generated constructions. The game generates a few things. So you can see, and you can have more books. That's one of the most common one add to the game. The books you can find in chest. It's something that's for me is a form of incentive, like exploring more to get more knowledge. Things like that. So I think I just stop playing here.
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much for the explanations, and thank you.
You're welcome. I just keep it for 5 or 10 minutes if you have any question. If someone on the chat has some questions, I don't know for you, or if you have things to add.
Not for me. It was a very good introduction. Now I have some better idea of what it is all about. I still need to discuss and to chat with you to have more ideas of what is possible, but it was a nice introduction. So thank you very much for that. I have to leave because I have a course to grab for the podcast, but it was very good as an introduction. Thanks.
No
Yes,
problem.
thank you very much. It was really interesting.
Thank you, Pierre.
No problem. My pleasure. I think that this video, this live, will be registered, and we'll put it on the YouTube channel of the Liège Game Lab. So I just write it. You can search for this on YouTube, on Facebook also. The Liège Game Lab has a page, on Twitter even, where we update and we give notifications of what we do. Mostly it's in French. For the BetterGeoEdu project we spoke in English, of course. I don't know if you want to give some of your the way to find you to Eric or the others. If you want me to talk about the jam or the pages where or the pages for BetterGeo in the chat, maybe there are theorists maybe listening to us and can give informations about where to find informations about BetterGeo on the internet.
Sure. Yeah, we'll try to find it.
I think there is the if I go on Twitter, there is the EIT Raw Materials.
But you were on the BetterGeo.com page, no?
Yeah, I gave exactly. So the BetterGeoEdu.com.
Here's the main site, which is in Swedish and English, and will be partially translated.
Yeah, exactly. We are currently we are trying to write the translations and of the game and of the pages. Right. So, thank you for accompanying me in this live.
Thank you, Maxime.
Yeah, thank you too.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you too.
See you.
See you next time.
Goodbye.